How's it going? This is take 3. Yay. First one, my tea went off. I got this new tea kettle and I completely forgot that I put it on the kettle. I hit record and then about a minute later, it's singing. Can't repeat that. It's forever in this video now. And then in the second take, Luna decided to start just jangling her collar all over the place. And then all the audio was like, it was like I was like this the whole time and it was just clipping nonstop and it sounded terrible. So that's why I decided to re-record, I guess. So before I get into this, I need to respond to you. You shared a letter from the alphabet, which is awesome. Actually, before I talked about that, if you are going to do this quest with me, I have a requirement for all fellow questers, for all fellow knights. There's a book on your shelf that you have to get rid of. It's an abomination of a book entitled Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. That has no place on any bookshelf whatsoever, unless the whole bookshelf is in the dumpster. I know J.K. Rowling said that it's canon, but everything in it goes against canon, so it just doesn't make sense to have that on your bookshelf. Just saying. So I would get rid of that. But okay, let's move on. So your letter was interesting. When I first came up with the idea for speeches and stories, like I never thought that an alphabet letter would be one of the letters shared. So that is kind of unique. And it was kind of cool to see like how the influence of the language of, different people, like not originally, but at one point, the island of England was a province of the Roman Empire, and then they left in like the 5th century, and the Anglo-Saxons, the Germanic people, came over and like they had an invasion, and then centuries later the Vikings came. So there's just this influence of all these languages and different people and cultures basically creating a melting pot of a language that we have, and that's why Thorn is the way it is. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I love Western European medieval history. I need to read more of it. But for now, I'm going to share a letter. Not a letter, a lyric. This is kind of a lyric. I'm not, you know me, I'm not the most musically talented person, but this is a poem. And I think that poetry counts as lyrics, even if it's not designed to be accompanied by music. This is one of my favorite poems called Invictus. Invictus is written by William Ernest Henley, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll do a correction across the video right here, or maybe I'll do a voiceover later. So yeah, it was featured in the movie Invictus that tells the story of the apartheid in South Africa that was happening, I believe it was during the 90s. I can't remember when, but Nelson Mandela was president, and he had a conversation with the captain of the South African rugby team, Francois. He wanted him to encourage his team to win the World Cup. Ironically, the position that Francois played in the position that he plays, period, is the same position that I play. It's called flanker. So just a little tidbit of information there. But I was first introduced to this poem. It's in a book called The Dangerous Book for Boys, which I have somewhere. Oh, there it is, right there. That's where I was first introduced to it, way before I even saw the movie. And I didn't get it as a kid. It took me years to fully understand the depth of this poem. So Let's go ahead and read it. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of this shade. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. This is one of my absolute favorite poems. In fact, I have a displate of this poem on my wall in my work office. A displate. This owl is on a displate. It's a metal poster. And I have it. I have it on my wall because it serves as a reminder for me to have courage to do the right thing. I work in a tough field where I have to have hard decisions with teenage boys to influence them, and it's easy to take the well, it's just easy to take the easy route. It's easy to just say, you know what, I don't want to deal with the blowback of holding you accountable right now. So instead, I'm gonna just pretend that this never happened, to have a tough conversation, or just reprimand you verbally instead of holding you accountable with other consequences, things like that. And that is the easy way out. But instead, I this is there as a reminder for me to do the hard thing, to have courage in doing the hard thing. It also serves as a reminder that there are external forces at work in this world, external forces, external factors that we can't control. But it doesn't matter. We have to take responsibility for our life. We have to take responsibility for the choices that we make. And the difference between two people is what they do is what they choose to do in spite of the tough circumstances of their life. Some people tend to just throw in the towel. They give up. You know what? I can't deal with this. I'm just going to blame it on, XYZ. This is tough and I can't deal with it. Life is unfair, yada, yada, yada. And then other people rise to the occasion. They realize, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. It's time for me to rise to this occasion and do what is necessary, to have courage, to take responsibility, to do the hard work. Because if it was easy, nobody would do it. And that's why the final line matters so much. I am the captain of my fate. I am the master. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I am the one in charge of the decisions that I make, regardless of the circumstances. And who you are as a person is dictated by the choices we make, not the circumstances. And specifically, the choices that we make when the circumstances are the most dire, the most difficult. If you can face the tough circumstances and still make the right decision, even when other people get hurt, even when you get hurt, you make the right decision. That defines your character in the end. So that's my favorite poem, Invictus. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I think whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. Invictus means it's Latin for the word unconquerable. So that's all I have for today. See you next time on Speeches and Stories, Lyrics and Letters. See you next time. Bye.